We've seen businesses as well who were also trying to survive, more than survive, but really trying to bridge the now to the future. Our contribution is not just on making sure that we get investments at the end of the day, but making sure that through our management skills, EduTech, we have an educational technology platform. Our renewable energy
皆さんこんにちは、フィリピンアセットコンサルティングの家村です。今日はですね、こちらね、ジョアンナさんにね、ビデオの方にね、ご招待しているんですけども、ジョアンナさんですね、ジェンセングローバルっていうね、プライベートエクイティファンドをね、フィリピンでやられてるということで、私もですね、フィリピンでプライベートエクイティファンドの方に会うのは初めてなんで、今日はですね、どんなね、活動をされてるのかっていうのをですね、聞いていきたいなと思っております。I just to quickly introduce you. You established private equity fund. So, firstly, could you introduce yourself briefly?
Thank you, Imura-san.
Thank you.
I'm Joanna Serrano. I'm the CEO and founder of Johnson Global. Johnson Global is the investment and business consulting firm that is also into private equities. So let me just share with you some highlights about the company.
Okay. ではね、まずね、そうですね。Could you introduce your company first?
So Johnson Global is a business and investment consulting firm that leads the businesses through its roadmaps in different stages as we understand and guide them through the different market insights, different market scenarios, really aligning them to the different strategies that would best fit the business, the landscape, and the environment. So also initiating current capabilities, organizational structures is also one of the key roles that we play. This is, of course, for us to enable the different businesses to achieve its operational excellence, adaptability, and sustainability as well.
I see.
So Johnson Global, as a firm, is really keen in making sure that the parameters are set well for the businesses to thrive, to grow, that potential has been identified, the business models were realized in place, and certainly for execution.
I see.
We started actually having Johnson Global as the savior during the pandemic for most companies, if I may share. We know that for COVID-19, it has created a lot of impact to different businesses in the Philippines and globally as well. So we were somehow forced to pivot or really re-identify ourselves then. Because imagine, from being a business and investment consulting firm, we got to really adjust well and respond. So our response to the companies around us was basically just a reflex. It was like a normal reflex for us to respond to what the businesses need at that time. So understanding it from a value chain, the different businesses across sectors need funding. Maybe in forms of asset monetization, debt funding, financial instruments, investment, or capital infusion. That's badly needed during the time. And for us, because we really understand that business is business. It's so hard to just give up the business just because of hard times. So us being really organically concerned about the economy of the Philippines then, we've been hearing companies with, let's say, assets just lying around in the hangar waiting for the flights or commercial flights to be back to normal. We saw companies trying to close their factories, but sales of the clients outside the Philippines, they're still there. They just need some capital infusion to make sure that they can still prosper and continue the operations. We've seen businesses as well who were also trying to survive, more than survive, but really trying to bridge the now to the future, as they have tons of sales contracts that's really there. But how do they bridge going here serving that sales to a client outside the Philippines to the current now? That bridge is somehow a short bridge, but it's quite a tricky road. So that's where we come in. We want to make sure that we assist them in making sure that, yes, we recognize there's the potential. The market is still there, never dead. It's always there. And potential is still really as broad as it can seem. So that's where we come in. So it was also the time when we got to realize, as we've been hearing from other businesses in our sector, they've been referring to us as an angel investor, as a hedge fund, as a venture capital firm. So then we realized it's the right time to really respond to what the environment in the Philippines would need. So therefore, or thus, us being into the private equity sector now.
So could you tell us, I understand your principle of the investment. So could you tell us more about your strategy of investment, meaning that which sector are you focusing on, or what business model do you put the money into the company or something like that?
Well, it's always an exciting question because if you're talking to someone who has been used to the Philippine markets, that's always like, do I need to shortlist it to the top 10? Because the Philippine business as it is in landscape is really as dynamic as it can be. So if I am to shortlist it to just the top 5, I may be misrepresenting the whole other sectors that has the equal potential. But let me just name what I feel on my personal standpoint are the sectors that is really thriving, that is really worth investing. That's why we have our own shares into those sectors, because we look at it not just on the current status of it, but the potential that it has in at least 5 years from now. And these certain sectors would of course include renewable energy, information and technology,
IT.
As they say, that's the sexiest sector because it keeps on evolving. Now we talk about AI, which is really into the right pedestal.
Sure.
And then of course there's still real estate. And of course we still have the solid waste management, or the waste management, which is connected to renewable energy.
I see.
And the fast-moving consumer goods would always be there to support the trade. So these are the top sectors that our firm has always been keen on investing. That's how we keep our investment portfolio really as exciting as it is. And that is not just because it's backed up by numbers, but because organically you can see the growth is within those sectors. You are not really putting all your eggs in one basket. When we talk about diversification, it's not just on a whole, but even on a subclass of it.
I see. Currently, so how many companies are you investing? Meaning that your PE fund portfolio?
Yes. For the past 2 years, we've invested into five key companies. So these companies are all organically grown. When I say organically grown, they are within the value chain or the ecosystem of our investment portfolio by appetite. So we want to make sure that they are interconnected with each other to ensure
interconnected in your portfolio companies.
Somehow, yes. To ensure that, because us as a general partner into a private equity funding, our contribution is not just on making sure that we get investments at the end of the day, but making sure that through our management skills, we're able to help them upscale the business, increase the business valuation, just so when we exit happier. We exit with more revenues, more profits for everyone, for all the stakeholders, a happy exit. So for us to do that, as diversified as it is, it's always keen for us to make sure that they are interconnected with each other, acting as one value chain. So that's why I talk about waste management, I talk about renewable energy, IT to support its operations.
I see.
Real estate as well, to make sure that there is the certain holding muscle for everything. And of course the trade, as we hit it offshore, with the different agro commodities that there are, minerals. And this as one value chain for me has been proven to be a sound portfolio for us.
I see.
And so we've been trying to make it conservative the past 2 years because that is us trying to make sure that we take care of the investments really well, as everyone has been on the key set of the bounce back economy. But more than that, of course, our aim is to grow it even more. That is basically, the 5 is basically more on the investment portfolio side. But other than that, we've been doing a lot of facilitation of debt funding, facilitation of asset monetizations, and that is separate from my investment portfolio. But I guess key here is really to make sure that every year, we have allocations of $5 million. And the $5 million will be dependent on the rightful investment sector and how we want to manage the funds for that part.
Okay. Could you tell me more about your portfolio companies, business? Each companies. What company do you in your portfolio?
Okay. So we have an IT company that we've invested on. This IT company is heavy on mobile applications, application systems, games as well. So we're talking of hardcore games to casual gaming. And the most interesting part here is not just that, but actually we talk about metaverse. Yes. Others, they term it as the extended reality because there's augmented and virtual reality. There's mixed reality. I can't even imagine there's a lot of realities. But yes, the main core here is more into having the different platforms work together, offering a different subset of customer experiences through the digital platforms that they offer. And these are not just for a sugar candy project, but these are all ventured into AI. Because we have to admit, AI is really out there. It just depends on how you want to deliver it, subtly or direct. So there are certain methodologies that the different innovators themselves are using right now, and we do support these innovations. I'm a fan of innovation. If you don't mind me sharing, my first entrepreneurship was actually IT. So I've always been a fan.
So what is the name of this company?
We have AV Reality. We have AV Reality.
AV Reality.
Yes.
Then this company have their own engineer or IT engineer?
Yes. It's a company full of talented geeks and nerds in one house.
Filipino?
Yes, proudly.
Filipino engineer.
Proudly Filipinos.
I see.
So they are into development, design, animation.
So even you have an engineer of the AI system?
Yes, apparently.
Okay.
But I have to admit, I'm quite new into the AI sphere. But I do support its direction. And I do understand that this will really be something that the different sectors should be taking.
Because one of my friends, actually, I met him last night. He's looking for the AI engineer to make edutech.
EduTech. We have an educational technology platform.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Could you tell me more about your EduTech system?
Sure. The educational technology platform is dubbed as Open Class. So Open Class is used for competency development, for the academic sector, for training, facilitation as well of different certification courses, offshore educational programs. And it's not just the usual e-learning management system because it also can accommodate the metaverse within the platform.
I see.
And of course, because it also has a direction to upgrade it further, having AI features with it. But I think, we're talking about the educational technology sphere. And this is my favorite topic. Aside from the investments in PE. But I've always been an advocate of technology and academe together.
Okay.
So because I understand, that for education, it's not just about making sure that the coursewares are there. It's making sure that they are indeed effective. But how do you measure the effectiveness of a courseware without being biased on who authored it or who took the exams? That certain non-bias, for me, I feel is being filled in by AI. That's why it's needed to be there to make sure that coursewares, facilitators, the students, and the grading systems are all being assessed fairly in an unbiased environment. And that would be really key, because then we would know at the end of the school year which courseware, which professor was really effective. And if not, what do we do to improve it further? Is it a lack of attention of the student? Is it because there's a certain gap in content? Or maybe the visuals were not appealing enough? Or maybe because the time allotted for a courseware was too short? Or was it too long, then making everything boring? So all these things, are actually what we would be calling data at the end of the day, which would help us evaluate further as we plan the next years ahead.
That's great. Great. Okay. I want to hear more about tech space, but you have another portfolio company. Could you introduce other companies as well?
Okay. Yes. One is into the seafood processing. Seafood processing.
Okay.
Yes, because as you know, Philippines is such a very interesting archipelago, and we have this vision of placing, together with the founder, of course, we have this vision of placing different warehouse or storage, cold storages in the different ports. And with this, a -0 cold storages, this then can sustain the life of the perishable goods further as it waits for trade the next day or in the coming days. And these are something that actually I myself, I was not aware that there was a need, but it has been validated by the fishermen themselves that there is a need, and the businessmen supporting the fishermen validated that further, that the journey can be supported more as it goes to trade if they have the certain facilities in place. So like these things, these are not the usual talked about portfolio of an investment, but because I'm always an advocate of making sure that we make an impact to the businesses that we invest in, not just because it's a fad. Fad can come and go. But if it's a need validated by the community that you serve, I say I serve because communities are there to thrive. And how does a community thrive? You serve them so that they'd be given a chance to thrive and do what they're good at.
Okay.
Our fishermen here, they're good at what they're doing. And I may not know a thing about fishing. I love the fish though. But I do understand that it takes cost for the fish to arrive in the port. It takes cost for this port to sustain and store until it goes for shipment and until it reaches the buyer in Japan, in Korea, in Taiwan.
For export?
For export. So imagine the savings that we are offering the fishermen and the business folks supporting them if we have these facilities in place. So that's why we are very keen on making sure that facilities will be in place as they are needed by the community who needs it. And there's also one that's into agriculture. So we talk about commercialization, we talk about agriculture and agua earlier. So there's agro and agua and commercialized investments. Commercialized investments would be the IT companies that I mentioned, the renewables, waste management sometimes can fall into that. But the agro and agua, these are two sectors.
Agro and agua. It is the first time to hear that word.
Agro means agriculture. Agua means water, or
Water.
that's why we have the fishing.
Oh, okay. I
So
see,
imagine if a business supports the commercialized sectors, supports the agro and the agua, I feel there would be higher chances for the economies to thrive. And that itself is diversification. Johnson Global is keen in maintaining a diversified portfolio, not just because, again, it's a fad or that, it sounds too corporate, but because we know this is where the money can be safely kept as it thrives with the community that it has on the business perspective, operations, and making sure that investments can be further moved forward after on.
I see. Could you tell me more about the agriculture side of business? Yeah.
So if our fishermen need certain cold storages as well,
Storage.
then our farmers would need support of certain facilities as well. And nationally, there are different ranges of farmers. I've only learned this through the business. There are different ranges of
What
farmers.
farmer? Rice or what product?
Now, this is the tricky part.
Okay.
Farmers, I thought when I was young, are all about rice farming. But as a farmer, I was told that when you say farmer in the Philippines, you're a farmer of rice and coconut.
Coconuts. Yeah.
And some fruit-bearing trees.
Fruit.
So they're multitasking. So they can utilize the lot really well. The lot, accommodated for them. And it's really good timing because our government has incentivized farmers in making sure that there's support, not just on the monetary side, but let's say I have a 1.5 hectare land here. I apply it to my local government, and the local government with our Department of Agriculture will be giving me, I think, 500 coffee beans.
Coffee bean.
To start the coffee business as an incentive.
Where is the Joe? Where is the location of the farm?
No, it can be anywhere within the Philippines.
Anywhere.
It can be anywhere in the Philippines.
Okay.
So I'm talking about the certain support that the government is giving to our farmers.
Okay.
So the government support is there. The farmers are doing what they're good at. Then imagine having the farm business treated as a venture itself, because it really is a venture itself. So now with that, that's where the PE funding would be coming in, where we are having the storage facilities for them.
Okay.
The storage facilities would be something that the farmers would be needing to make sure that they would always be ready for the trade to come in, and to also make sure that these goods are well protected against the bad weather,
Sure.
especially in the Bicol provinces. And I am from Bicol as well. That's why my heart has always been close to it as well. So we have to make sure that they are supported, because the weather we cannot change.
No out of control.
It's hard to beat nature. We just have to adapt and make sure that we roll with it smoothly. And this is us rolling with it, making sure that the facilities needed would be in place. So the storage facilities are one, making them into renewables, because agriculture has agricultural waste. So then that's another part of the ecosystem. So, and then putting them into trade. So that itself is a value chain that I was mentioning earlier. That's how we support our investments, and that's how we identify the right sector or the right company to invest in, making sure that they do add up, if not respond to the existing, but they do add up to the value chain aligned with us.
I see. Okay, that's good. So what about renewable businesses?
Yes. For renewable energy, this is all about making sure that our investments are in the right place. When I say right place for renewable energy, that it has environment and social compliances. Some renewable energies still use combustion, hazardous chemicals. Our renewable energy is an advanced renewable energy, making sure that it does the job of converting waste into energy, but making sure is that no chemical substances are emitted, but it still responds to the need of industrial plants that we have here. May it be a PEZA zone or a non-PEZA zone. And it also responds to the hospital needs as well in segregating their waste and making sure that the waste are being disposed. Imagine we have a certain plot where there is maybe, let's say, a radius of 5 kilometers. In a radius of 5 kilometers, then we would be having a satellite here for renewables, taking care of the waste as it is being converted into the energy. So this makes it even easier for the hospital management team to make sure that they do not need to transport hospital waste with hazardous chemicals, with contagious materials on it to what? 10 kilometers away from the hospital. Imagine this truck of garbage disposal is crossing 10 cities, carrying all those. A lot can happen, not just because I'm a fan of Hollywood, I've seen in the movies, but because logic would dictate that if you transport hazardous chemicals 10 kilometers going to a site to dispose waste, a lot can happen between point A to point B. But imagine if you were to shortlist everything, you are to have them just, within a 5 kilometer radius, make sure that there is enough storage for waste and a good methodology to burn it, an advanced one, not to mention, then I feel we are really contributing well to the community.
I see. So,
but although renewable energies and solid waste management, these projects are really fund-consuming, if I may, fund-consuming. Because one would be about $3 million and up just to sustain a certain site. But of course, because we understand that renewable energy in its space alone is profitable enough, we're not even talking about carbon credits yet. But that is a separate business model in itself. So these are the components that the different founders are already aware of. And we are just guiding them, making sure that it is achieved either through investment funds that we bring in or through certain business partnerships, either through distributorship or joint ventures with affiliates.
Okay, thank you.